Good morning, Card Mean. It's RJ back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day from 1987. The Topps, or I should say O-Pee-Chee, but I guess really it's Topps. There's the O-Pee-Chee sticker. This one is called out as the O-Pee-Chee sticker book, but it's got Mike Schmidt on the cover. One of the reasons it's beat to heck, I mean, it's got tape marks on it, it's completely crinkled, it's absolutely beat to heck. This is the O-Pee-Chee one, not the Topps one technically, but what's great about this book, even though it's beat to hell, one of the reasons I like it so much is all the stickers are in it. Whoever had this book in the past had the entire sticker collection and put them in. So it's really cool. Now, I don't know that the stickers themselves are the O-Pee-Chee version versus the Topps version, because you can't tell that from the front. You'd have to see the copyright date on the back, but this person peeled all the stickers and put them all in. So it's a complete set of the stickers, O-Pee-Chee book, not the Topps book, and Mike Schmidt on the cover. So it's a really cool thing I like to have, like to keep in my collection. Today's random baseball item of the day, back in 2019, is a little fathead promotion for the Phillies. PGW, the Philadelphia Gas Works. They have a little memo thing here, dry erase memo, a fathead of Nolan, big old fathead of the schedule, the name Phillies, and then Aaron Nola, a locker nameplate for the top of the locker. So this, again, just a random item sent out to the fans. You can get it at the ballpark, I suppose. Team picture, Mr. Gabe Kapler. Look, check that interesting note. There's Rob Thompson sitting there in the front row as well. Kind of cool. Bunch of motley crew people of the Phillies back in that time. Yeah, 2018 Phillies that was. It was the 25th anniversary of the 1993 squad. Had a lot of them came back from that. This, I'm guessing, is this? No, this is the 2008 World Series champions. Their 10th anniversary, because this was from 2018, that back picture. Again, this was released in 2019, so the pictures celebrated the 2018 season. So this is the 10th year anniversary of the 08 World Series champions as well. So pretty cool item for me, a Phillies fan, something I love to hold on to. A lot of times, eventually, I'll sell these random oddball Philly items if they don't have Mike Schmidt involved, but that's one I still have. So speaking of Mike Schmidt, today's trivia question. Obviously, there's no Mike Schmidt. Well, it's not going to be Mike Schmidt question, but there's an interesting card back there from Mr. Schmidt. Anyway, today's trivia question: on this day in baseball history, June the 12th, 1994, the Twins face off against the White Sox. What is significant about this game is the first time in baseball history that the two starting pitchers were both born in Venezuela. So I'm not sure how often it happens or how many people pay attention to such things when a game occurs when the starting pitchers are born in different countries on the odd chance that they are born in the same country. Who knows who tracks that, why they track it, but they do. So in this case, the two starting pitchers were both born in Venezuela, June the 12th, 1994. My question to you is, name both of the pitchers that started that day, Twins versus White Sox, all right? What you're playing for, as if you saw on Monday, I'm getting rid of some Topps Gallery Hall of Fame cards from 2003. Legendary Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt, as well as little-known Hall of Famer Ed Roush of the Cincinnati Reds. Like to throw in some unknown or unheralded baseball Hall of Famers. Help everybody learn a little bit more about other Hall of Famers other than the legends. So that is what you're playing for. So send me the answer to that question. I'll send me an email. I'll include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You'll have today and tomorrow to answer. We'll pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. So today, thought I'd show off a set some people forget about, but an interesting one. The 1989 Major League debut by Topps. Every card in here is supposed to be of a player who made their Major League debut in sometime in 1989. What's interesting is I'm going to challenge you to follow along. I'm going to go through every card. How many of these players do you even frickin' remember? I mean, really, how many? Because what you get in a card set like this, 150 cards of people who just had their Major League debut, you know there's going to be a whole bunch that you go, who? Because their careers never panned out. So let's see, how many of these can you say you even remember hearing of? And I'll be honest, I'll say if I don't remember them, but if I do, I'll let you know. All right, here we go. Starting, and these are alphabetical, so here we go. Jim Abbott. I'm sure everybody should remember the name Jim Abbott, the one-handed pitcher, I should say. He did throw a no-hitter for the Yankees one year. That was fantastic. Jim Abbott. So here you go. Bo Allred. I have no idea who Bo Allred is. He made his Major League debut September 7th, 1989. I have no idea whatever happened to Bo Allred if he ever played again, ever. Wilson Alvarez. I thought... I'm almost going to sneeze. I thought Wilson Alvarez threw a no-hitter for the White Sox one year. Here's Wilson Alvarez's thing. I do remember Wilson Alvarez. Here's another one. Kent Anderson. I got no clue who Kent Anderson is, although he looks a little bit like Jeff Kent. Interesting. Eric Anthony. I do remember Eric Anthony. Kevin A. Pierre. Certainly remember Kevin A. Pierre. Here you go. Larry Arndt. No clue who Larry Arndt is. No clue. John Barfield. I remember a Jesse Barfield, but I don't recall the name John Barfield. Don't know whatever happened to John Barfield. Billy Bates. I do remember Billy Bates, not too well, but I know the name. I remember him playing. Kevin Batiste. I don't know Kevin Batiste, but the Phillies had a player named Kim Batiste at one time. Blaine Beatty. No clue who Blaine Beatty is. Stan Belinda. I remember Stan Belinda, a mediocre pitcher for several seasons. Juan Bell. Do you remember Juan Bell? The Phillies had Juan Bell at one time. Here is Joey. Albert, don't call me Joey Bell. This is when they first started calling him Joey. Andy Bennis. Certainly remember Andy Bennis. Mike Benjamin. I barely remember Mike Benjamin. I do, though. Geronimo Baroa. Yes, I do remember Geronimo Baroa. Mike Blowers. I do remember Mike Blowers. Brian Brady. No, don't remember Brian Brady. I remember a Brady Anderson, but not a Brian Brady. Francisco Cabrera. Francisco Cabrera. If you remember Francisco Cabrera, he was the one who had the hit, I believe, that sent the Braves to the World Series in 91. He had the hit that scored Sid Bream, if I remember correctly. Francisco Cabrera. So I do remember Francisco Cabrera. George Canal. No clue who George Canal is. Jose Cano. I can't say I know Jose Cano. I remember Robinson Cano later on, but I don't think I know Jose Cano. Steve Carter. No clue who Steve Carter was. Pat Coombs, obviously being a Philly, I remember Pat Coombs. Scott Coolball, I do remember Scott Coolball. Steve Cummings, no. I remember Amidre Cummings, but not a Steve Cummings. Look at this guy, Pat Delina, just kind of standing there, smiling up at his fans and his family. Hey, Mom and Dad, I made the Major Leagues. Pete Delina, no clue who he is. Jeff Datz, who dat? Jeff Datz, no, sorry, I don't remember him. Bobby Davidson, no clue. Drew Denson, no idea. Gary DiSarcino, I do remember Gary DiSarcino. It's just amazing. Like I said, you get all these people. Most of them I've never heard of in my life before. Brian Dubois, nope. Can't say as I do. Mike Dyer, do remember Mike Dyer. Didn't play too long, but I remember Mike Dyer. Wayne Edwards, can't say it. Junior Felix, I love Junior Felix because this is back when Steve Berman was still doing ESPN and whatnot, and had those great nicknames for everybody. And he goes, yeah, Junior Felix doesn't really have a nickname, but I was always a fan of his father, Senior Felix. Ha, 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 ba-dum-bump. Mike Fetters, I remember Mike Fetters. Steve Finley, absolutely remember Steve Finley. think he was involved in the big trade that sent Glenn Wilson from the Astros to the Orioles. Can't recall that. Steve Finley. Darren Fletcher. I do remember Darren Fletcher because he was on the Phillies at one time. Darren Fletcher is a great catcher. Lavelle Freeman, not so much. Steve Fry. I remember Steve Fry. Yep. Mark Gardner. I do remember Mark Gardner. Here's a famous name to most Phillies fans and Yankee fans. Joe Girardi. Major League debut with the Cubbies. So, check this out. Juan Gon. Absolutely. Goose Gazzo. Never heard of Goose Gazzo. Then Tommy Green. I remember Tommy Green. He was a member of the Phillies. He was a member of the 93 team. Tommy Green. Everybody knows this guy. Don't need to say anything more about the Griff. Jason Grimsley. Remember him from the Phillies? Nice little card of Marquise Grissom. Not sure why the change in color. Some guys have white. Some guys have colorized colorized things on their thing. I don't know why the color change. Marquise Grissom, Mark Guthrie, I remember. Chip Hale, no idea who Chip Hale is. Jack Hardy, no clue. Gene Harris, I remember. Mike Hartley, I do remember. Scott Hemmond, barely remember Scott Hemmond. Xavier Hernandez, yes. Eric Hetzel, not so much. Greg Hibbard, yes. Mark Higgins, no. Glenn Allen Hill, yes. Remember Glenn Allen Hill very well. Chris Hoyles, absolutely remember Chris Hoyles. Highly touted catching prospect. Sean Holman, no clue who Sean Holman is. Dan Howitt, no clue who Dan Howitt is. Mike Huff, I do remember Mike Huff. Terry Jorgensen, barely remember Terry Jorgensen. Dave Justice, absolutely. Everybody remembers Dave Justice. Jeff King, so remember Jeff King. Matt Kinzer, not so much. Joe Kramer, not so much. Marcus Lawton, can't say that I do. Derek Lindquist, yes, I do remember Derek Lindquist. Scott Little, nope. Greg Litton, kind of remember Greg Litton. Rick Lukin, no sir, don't know you. Julio Machado, I know Manny, I don't recall Julio. Tom McGran, no sir. And then Kelly Mann, that's half the set. All right, I think I'm about half that I even remember. Randy McCamnett, no. Ben McDonald, another highly touted pitching prospect for the Orioles back in the day. Chuck McElroy, because he's a Philly, I certainly remember him. Jeff McKnight, I do recall. Kent Merker, yes. Matt Marullo, no, don't know him. Hensley Mullins, I do remember Hensley Mullins. I remember he had a bit of a temper too sometimes. Kevin M. Mahat. Not sure how you say that. Mahat? Mahat? I don't know. Kevin Mahat, don't know him at all. Mike Munoz, can't say that I remember you, sir. Dan Murphy, no. Jamie Navarro, certainly remember Jamie Navarro. Randy Nosek, don't remember Randy Nosek. John Olerud, obviously, everybody remember John Olerud. Steve Olin, not so much. Joe Oliver, yes, I remember. Francisco Olivares, I do remember Francisco Olivares. Greg Olson, I do remember you, sir. John Orton, not so much. Dean Palmer, yes, I remember Dean Palmer. Ramon Pena, yes, I remember Ramon Pena. Jeff Paterick, no, sir. Marty Peavy, no, sir. Rusty Richards, no, sir. Jeff Richardson, no. Rob Ritchie, don't remember you, sir. Kevin Ritz, no. Rosario Rodriguez, no. Mike Rosler, no. Kenny Rogers, yes. Do remember Kenny Rogers. Bobby Rose, no. Alex Sanchez, no. Dion, nice neon Dion. I wonder how much of these are going for if you slab them up and get some of these rookie year cards. Jeff Schaefer, do remember Jeff Schaefer. Jeff Schultz, not so much. Mike Schwabe, love that name, no. Dick Scott, no sir. Scott Scudder, I remember. Rudy Cianez, I remember. I want to say I thought Rudy Cianez was actually on the Phillies one year during the lean years. I think we had Rudy Cianez. Joe Skalski, don't know you, sir. Definitely remember Dwight Smith. He was a big-time player. Greg Smith, not so much. Mike Smith, not so much. Paul Sorrento, yes, I do. And everybody knows this guy, Sammy Sosa. Billy Spears. Don't remember Billy Spears, but there was another Bill Spears. Oh, wait, this is Billy Spires. This guy I do remember. I'm sorry, I do remember Bill Spears now that I think about it. Yes, I do. Mike Stanton, I remember. Phil Stevenson, not so much. Doug Strange. I remember this only because of the strange name. But I do remember Doug Strange. Russ Swan, no. Kevin Tapani, yes. Stu Tate, no. Greg Vaughn, absolutely. Greg Vaughn hit 50 home runs one year. Robin Ventura, yep. He of the Nolan Ryan fight. Randy Veras, no. Jose Vizcaino, absolutely. Omar Vizquel, absolutely. Larry Walker, this would be a really cool card for your Larry Walker slab, call him his rookie card, so to speak. Great card there. Jerome Walton, naturally. Gary Wayne, not so much. Lenny Webster, definitely. Mickey Weston, yes. Jeff Weatherby, no. John Wetland, yes. Eric Whithead, yes. Wally Whitehurst, no, only because of the great name, Wally Whitehurst. Kevin Wickender, no. Dean Wilkins, no. Dana Williams, yes, I do remember Dana Williams. Paul Wilmette, no. Craig Wilson, no. Matt Winters, no. Eric Yelding, yes. Clint Zavares, no. And certainly Todd Zeal, who was also another Philly at one time. So that is the Major League debut set. And if you see, it's interesting, you're going to get a lot of players in a set like this because it's just people who came up for a cup of coffee a lot of times. And you'd be surprised. Someday somebody should do a video about players who came up for a cup of coffee in September but never appeared in the major leagues again after that one appearance or just one brief stint. And that's what a lot of those guys are. That's why we've never heard of half that set, because so many of them came up for the September call-ups and just never panned out. So anyway, another look at a great box set. I like to do that, you know me. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, all that jazz. Stop back again on Sunday for the trivia recap. All right? Thanks for watching. Take care.